You didn't ask for any of this. You were right. I lied. I lied right to your face. Just to get you to help me. You did. You didn't lie. You made an educated wish. Come on. You got a whole world to go back to. I got nothing. I got nothing.
What up, y'all? It's your man, Mr. Marshall, Shortman Filmworks in the building. And we have another episode of the Everyday Man's Film Reviews for you guys this afternoon. All right, man. It's been a while since I have done these movie reviews. And, oh, God, I'm a little rusty. So if I'm a little rusty, y'all got to forgive me because it's been months since I've done these movie reviews. And the last one I left off with was Deadpool 2. And I was telling you guys that I was going to come back and I was going to do Deadpool and Wolverine. And y'all already know it's today's November 26th and the movie came out in July. So it's been 4 months since I've done a movie review. So yeah, life has been life and I've been busy. So really haven't had time to get to it the way I wanted to get to it. You know what I mean? But we're here. We're back. We're here. And as promised, I am doing the 2024 release of Deadpool Wolverine starring Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman. All right. So as I said, it's been a while. The movie came out on July 26th, and it's been a while since I've had a chance to actually do the movie review and get to it like I wanted to get to it, you know what I mean? So we're going to get to it today, and we're going to talk about this movie, you know what I mean? And I want to say, in talking about this movie, man, I was very pleased when I saw this film. I saw the movie probably about, I want to say like a week later from it coming out in the movie theater. I didn't get to see it with the crowd, which, after seeing the movie, I really wish I would have went to go see this with a crowd, because there are so many different things in this movie that I feel like served the fanfare of what's going on with these Marvel movies. You know what I mean? And getting on the Marvel kick, I was on the Marvel thing for a little while, all the way up until Endgame, and then after Endgame, I started watching some of the TV shows. I started out with WandaVision. I started watching WandaVision, and then I watched What If? That's on Disney Plus. But then eventually it just started getting overwhelming. I mean, it was show after show after show. I didn't even get a chance to watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which I believe that's probably going to lead up until the new Captain America movie that's coming out. But I didn't get a chance to watch at least half of the stuff. I ain't even gonna say half the stuff. A majority of things that came out on Disney Plus, I just didn't get a chance to watch because it was just so overwhelming, man. It was just too much material, too many things to keep up with. And when you got other things going on in life, you got to do more things than just sit in front of a TV and just watch TV shows. You know what I mean? I just could not keep up with everything. But from what I've heard from a lot of reviews on YouTube, a lot of content creators, a lot of the material that Marvel has been coming out with has not been top tier, not been up to par. So to see this film and to see what went on in the movie, you know what I mean? I've heard like a lot of people say like, yo, Marvel gave people what they wanted in this film, They gave people a R-rated movie that wasn't woke, that really just went all out, went balls in, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like with this movie, there was a lot going. I ain't gonna say there was a lot going on in this movie, but there's a lot going on in the movie, but it's satisfying, and it's satisfying to the point where you enjoyed it. I enjoyed the 2 hours that I was sitting in the movie theater watching this movie. And like I said, I so wish I would have seen this with a crowd, because it would have made it that much more better. You know what I mean? I was in the movie theater, and I think it was probably maybe about I don't know, maybe about 20 of us in the movie theater, and I think I probably was the only one giddy in the movie theater. You know what I mean? I mean, there was a couple other ones that was kind of giddy and seeing certain things that was going on in the film, and they was getting amped up, and I was getting amped up too, but it would have been so much better if I would have seen this with a crowd, right? So, getting to the film, you know, we start off with, we don't start off leaving off where Deadpool 2 left off, because we all know that, you know, Deadpool went back and he had Cable's I don't know what to call it, but he was able to reverse back time and bring back the people that were, you know, that pretty much was that was going to perish. And we lead off into the next part of what's going to happen in this film. And once again, y'all already know is dealing with the multiverse, which I was kind of hoping that they didn't go this direction in this film, because I felt like the multiverse was being overdone, which it was addressed in this film, you know what I mean? But I was hoping that they didn't go that direction, but I'm kind of like, they really don't have another place to go for it to make sense. So with it touching on that multiverse, that multiverse subject matter, it made sense, and to the point like, okay, well, this is where we're gonna go. And you know, getting into the movie, you like, okay, I'm expecting this, so I'll buy it. You know, I'll buy it for what it's worth. But it made sense. It made sense, you know, and to me, it turned out to be a really good. It turned out to be a really good movie. I feel like this movie was made for the fans, man. I think this movie was made for the fans. Props to Ryan Reynolds, because I know Ryan Reynolds was like the spearhead. I think he had a lot to do with the content matter, with the subject matter of the movie and how it was going to move along. And I really give kudos to Ryan Reynolds, and I'm pretty sure that Sean Levy, who was the director, I'm pretty sure that they was like, okay, hey, listen, we have to take this movie in a certain direction. We cannot drop the ball in this movie. If we drop the ball in this movie, I think it's just going to kind of kill the whole superhero genre. You know what I mean? Because as I said, with a lot of this Marvel content, a lot of stuff has been going downhill, man. And I haven't seen a lot of the content, but from what I hear, a lot of it is starting to go downhill. You know, a lot of being, you know, politically correct, a lot of woke stuff, a lot of things that people are treading safe lines. This movie, I feel like, did not tread no type of safe line, but I didn't feel like it didn't tread a safe line because it served the fans. Lot of cameos in this movie. There's a lot of fourth wall breaks. In this film, but it lends to the character of Deadpool, because if you saw the first one and you saw the second one, you see that he breaks the fourth wall a lot. He breaks it a lot, and this one is no different. You know what I mean? And I don't feel like it was overdone. I feel like it was done enough. I think a lot of the jokes, a lot of the references, a lot of the fourth wall breaks, the movie didn't take itself so seriously, which made it a good movie. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that with a lot of these superhero movies that it takes itself too seriously, where you can't appreciate the goofiness in a lot of some of this stuff. You know what I mean? But I feel like with this movie, it didn't take itself seriously with all the breaks and all the the little quips, the little comments. I want to say Ryan Reynolds, but the character Deadpool made a lot of quips and a lot of comments about what was going on, and referencing a lot of things that was going on in the movie and a lot of stuff that's going on behind the scenes. So anybody who's seen this movie know exactly what I'm talking about, with a whole lot of things that was going on in this movie, And I know I gotta watch it again. Because I know there are a ton of Easter eggs in this film that I know I missed. I watched it in the movie theater, and then I watched it a second time, and I know there were things that I was picking up the second time that I watched it. I was like, oh well, I didn't notice that the first time, and it's so many things, man. To Chris Evans coming back and you thinking it's Captain America and he turns out to be Johnny Storm, to Elektra coming back, or the biggest reveal was Wesley Snipes, man. When I saw Wesley Snipes, I got so hyped in the movie theater, man, when I seen Wesley Snipes, man. And with Channing Tatum becoming Gambit. And I don't know how true this is. I don't know if Gambit wanted to, not Gambit, if Channing Tatum wanted to be Gambit, which I was hearing rumors that he wanted to be Gambit, and it never got greenlit for him to play Gambit. But to me, I love what he did in this film, and I'm not from Louisiana, so I don't really know the Cajun dialect, but to me, he reminded me of the Gambit that was in the cartoon. He reminded me of him, and they went all out. They gave him the costume, the jacket, to the helmet that he had on. The only thing I wish they would have did was maybe gave him some CGI pupils, because in the comic, he has red pupils. So I think if they would have did that, they would have really completed the complete look for Gambit. I enjoy Wesley Snipes coming back. Him coming back and just seeing him on the screen, man. I love Wesley Snipes. Wesley Snipes is one of my favorite actors of all. He's one of my favorite actors of all time. And anything that he's in, I try to get a chance to see it, whatever he's in. And with him coming back to the screen, and you not even knowing about it. This is one of the reasons why I didn't watch none of the trailers, why I didn't want to hear nobody tell me nothing about the movie. I just wanted to go in and see what was going on. Even with Jennifer Garner coming back as Elektra, which Elektra was okay. The movie was okay, and she had an appearance in Daredevil, and then she had her own film. It wasn't one of my favorite Marvel movies when they first started, but the fact that they brought her back to reprise that role, love that whole aspect of that film, And there's a lot of other ones. You had the dude that played the original Sabretooth. He came back for the movie. The one that played Pyro, he came back. He was in X-Men. He came back. He made a cameo. I think the dude that played I think he was in I want to say, was he in the X-Men movies? The one that looks like the devil. I can't think of his name, but he looks like the devil. I think they used the same actor for that one. So there were a lot of cameos in there. I think Vinnie Jones should have came back to do Juggernaut, but maybe they couldn't get him. But they paid homage to the way he looked. You know what I mean? So I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that about the film. The fact that the chemistry between Deadpool and Wolverine, and I'm not much of a comic head, but I've heard about their chemistry and how they got along in the comics, and even the Deadpool video game. In the Deadpool video game, Wolverine has an appearance, and you can see they still have that kind of sarcastic not animosity, but that kind of relationship they have, where they start off kind of almost like enemies, but then they kind of become friends toward the end. But you see that kind of turbulent relationship that they got. And I'm not saying turbulent in a bad way, but it's turbulent in a good way, in the way that they interact with each other. So props to that, man. I enjoyed this movie, man. I enjoyed this movie immensely. I enjoyed this movie. One thing I could say I probably didn't like about this movie was the character Cassandra Nova. I kind of feel like they kind of could have gave them a stronger villain. Cassandra Nova I don't feel like she was used to the extent of what she can do with her powers. But it's a 2-hour runtime. Probably if they would have made this into a TV show, a series on Disney Plus, they could have dove more into Cassandra Nova, but I kind of feel like they really didn't use her to her fullest extent. Same thing with Mr. Paradox. Mr. Paradox had his own agenda where he's working for the TVA and he wants to wipe out Deadpool's existence quick, fast, and in a hurry. So he has his own agenda outside of what the TVA is expecting from him. He has his own little plot of what he wants to do and what's going on with him. So and essentially you got two villains, but I don't know, man. I kind of just feel like they fell kind of flat. To me, I think the movie was more about the relationship between Deadpool and Wolverine and how they developed their friendship and how they come along and how they develop in the movie. You know what I mean? But other than that, man, I feel like this movie really it was one of the best films I've seen in a long time. This has been one of those movies where I walked in and I was actually very satisfied when I walked out. And I really didn't have no worries. Well, let me take that back. I kind of did, because with Deadpool 2, when I first saw Deadpool 2, I was excited about the film. And then when I watched it 2 more times afterwards. And it kind of declined for me. So going into this one, I was just hoping like, okay, I hope this film doesn't be a dud. You know what I mean? I really hope it doesn't be a dud. But it surpassed what my expectations of what I wanted this film to be about. You know, one of the best films I've seen in a long time. I can't really remember another movie I've seen where I was this excited. Or not even this not I want to say as excited, but where I walked out satisfied. I want to say I walked out because I gave y'all my review about The Flash, and The Flash, man, The Flash got so much shit talked about it, man. But I actually liked The Flash, you know. But I walked out of The Flash and I was satisfied, but not as satisfied as I was with this film. You know, I walked out very satisfied. Like, I'm like, yo, I can't wait to see this again. You know what I mean? Because I know it's so many different things that I got to catch. And I know there's so many different things that I have to look at and see again. You know what I mean? So I enjoyed the movie immensely. You know what I mean? Great direction from Sean Levy in just the overall tone of the film. You know, you knew where it was going from the start. You already knew where the movie was going, and it was a fun ride, man. It was a fun ride to see all the cameos and to see, you know, to hear the jokes and the inside stuff. To me, that's what makes the movie, man. That's what made the movie so great. To me, what made the movie so great was just the inside jokes, and, you know, as I said before, the inside jokes, the fourth wall breaks, and the fact that the movie didn't take itself so seriously, man. That it was a fun movie. It was just a fun movie, man. It was a fun 2 hours to just sit in this movie and just, you know, to look at it and be excited and to smile and laugh and to get it and to cheer and to get ready and to see the action scenes and to see how they turned out. You know, that's why I'm like, I wish I would have seen this with an audience on opening weekend, because I would have been just as excited as the person sitting next to me or the person sitting down in the other row and the people behind me. I would have been just as excited to be in this movie theater watching this movie with everybody being so engulfed and engaged into the film. You know what I mean? But other than that, man, I really did enjoy this film. So shout outs to Ryan Reynolds, shout out to Sean Levy with his direction, to everybody that contribute to the film, man. It was an awesome film. It was a great film. You know what I mean? So I really can't think of anything else I want to say about this film, but just, you know, I enjoyed it. I couldn't get enough of it, man. And, you know, more than likely, I'm gonna watch it again. It comes, well, I think it's streaming now. I think it's on Disney Plus. I think it's on Disney Plus streaming. So I'm gonna find a way to watch this again and catch all these Easter eggs. And more than likely, I'm probably gonna get on YouTube and catch some of the Easter eggs. I know it's probably a whole lot of videos up there about Easter eggs and references and things that I missed. That's gonna make me go back and want to watch it again. So yeah, man. So great film, man. So on a scale, oh man, what do I want to give Deadpool and Wolverine? And there's a lot of stuff that I missed, but I missed it. I'm not touching on it purposely because I know there's probably some people that didn't see the movie, even though the movie did hella numbers. But for those who didn't see it, check it out. Please check this movie out. You will not be disappointed. But I don't want to give up so much for the people that didn't see it. You know what I mean? And for those who did see it, y'all know what I'm talking about, all right? So, what do I want to give Deadpool and Wolverine on a scale? I'm trying to think of what I want to give it, man. I'm trying to think about what I want to give this movie. Do I want to do 4.5 thumbs up, or I want to do 5? I want to do 5. I'll put it like this. I want to do 5, but I'm not going to do 5 because, like I said, I feel like the villains fell short. I wasn't too excited about Cassandra Nova, and I wasn't too excited about Mr. Paradox. So, with that being said, you know what? I didn't even talk about Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman is just Wolverine. Let's just call it what it is. I think between Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, these two, I ain't gonna say they were born to play these characters, but they fit the mold. You know, they fit the mold, man. They fit the mold. Because I can't imagine anybody else playing Hugh Jackman, except for a lot of the variants that they had in this movie. They had a lot of Logan variants, and they had the variant with Henry Cavill, and he actually called him the Calverine in the movie. But it's kind of like you got so used to Hugh Jackman being Wolverine that I don't know if Henry Cavill will be as believable as Wolverine, because we got so used to Hugh Jackman being Wolverine. So it's kind of like, yo, anybody else that steps into this role, you got big shoes to fill, baby. You got big shoes to fill, because Hugh Jackman, throughout the years, from him being Wolverine from the first X-Men movie all the way to now, and I think that's like a 20-year journey, because I think X-Men came out in like either 2000 or 2001, I believe. But it's a 20+ year role that he's reprised for so long. You can't imagine anybody else being Wolverine but Hugh Jackman. You know what I mean? So I guess as a runner-up, if they was going to do somebody else, I guess they could use Henry Cavill. But to me, I kind of feel like, oh man, and that's bleeding over into DC. I kind of feel like for a new Superman, Henry Cavill fits the bill. But nobody else can really replace Christopher Reeve. Christopher Reeve is like the #1 Superman. But I'm getting into a whole nother comic world and getting into a whole nother movie. So let me stick to what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? So Hugh Jackman will forever be Wolverine. It just is what it is. And to me, you know, Ryan Reynolds will forever be Deadpool. It is what it is. So let me dial it back, because I'm I'm getting off what I wanted to talk. I'm getting off from where I was in the first place. Let me dial it back, get back to the scale. I give Deadpool and Wolverine 4.5 thumbs up. I'm not giving it 5 because of the villains. You know what I mean? I don't even want to say I'm not giving it 5 thumbs up because of the plot. Because to me, it made sense, but they had to make it work for what they had to make it work with. And I think they made it work with where the MCU is right now, with all the multiverse and all that other stuff. You know, so they made it work for where the MCU is at this present moment. You know what I mean? And by them making it work with that, it is what it is. But for me, what knocked it down a half a thumb was the villains. Cassandra Nova was cool, but I'm like, okay. Is what it is. You know what I mean? So, let me know how you feel about Deadpool and Wolverine, because, you know, it's 4 months later and, you know, the movie's been out. It's been talked about. Like I said, it did marvelous numbers. I can't remember all the numbers that it did, but it did hella numbers this summer when it came out. So let me know how you feel. Let me know how you feel about it. Let me know how you feel about the whole Deadpool trilogy. How you feel about the whole Deadpool trilogy. How you feel about the franchise. Because I kind of feel like they're going to make another one. I just don't know what direction it was going to go in. I don't know what direction it's going to go in. You know, I kind of feel like, based on what Deadpool was saying at the end of the movie, you know, about the others. You know, he was saying, you know, can we find a way to bring them back? And, oh God, I can't remember her character, but she's kind of like the head of the TVA. She was like, we'll see what we can do. So I kind of feel like that left it open to saying, hey, are we going to get a movie with Elektra? Are we going to get a movie with Channing Tatum as Gambit? Will Wesley Snipes reprise his role as an older Blade? And as we all know, we've heard the news about Mahershala Ali's Blade being scrapped. So that's a no-go. But that could change. So who knows? I personally don't know if that changed because of the reaction with Wesley Snipes in this movie. That might have tanked the whole project. So who knows where this is going to go from here on, you know? So I don't know if they're going to keep this as a trilogy or if they're going to try to milk it for more than it's worth. Me personally, I probably can do another Deadpool movie with everybody else coming along from the void. And if they do, I hope they do it right. I really hope they do it right. And based on this film, I think they will, but who knows? who knows where it's gonna go, you know? So tell me what y'all think, man. Give me your thoughts, give me your comments. Let me know how y'all feel. Do y'all feel like they're gonna try to milk this for more? Do y'all feel like it should stop at these 3 and call it a day and let it be what it needs to be? How y'all feel? Let me know. Comments, not comments and concerns, but leave a comment down there. Let me know what's going on. How did you feel about the movie? How did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? All right. So drop a comment below. Let me know what's going on. Like the video if you like the video, and subscribe to the channel, man. Show a brother some love. Subscribe to the channel. Check out some other videos that I've done. I've done some other movie reviews. I'm getting back to my movie reviews again because life is kind of easing up on me. It's kind of taking its clutches off me so I can get back to what I enjoy doing, and that's making these videos. So check out some other movie reviews I've done. I'm doing Motivational Mondays, which is my version of, I ain't gonna say my version, but it's a little bit of a message to get you through your week, to get you started, because we all living through some things and we all going through some tough times. But I ain't gonna go there because that's a whole different story. But there's some motivational videos to keep you going through your week. So check out Motivational Mondays. Check out the other movie reviews that I have on the channel, and we just gonna keep this thing rolling. We're gonna keep it going. We're gonna keep it rolling, and I'm gonna give y'all some more movie reviews, and we're gonna just keep this thing ticking and keep this train and keep this truck moving. All right. Well, y'all take care. Wait, hold on. I'm getting my intros confused with Motivational Mondays. All right. So this is Shortman Filmworks. This is oh God. Let me start this over again because I'm merging them all together. This is Shortman Filmworks. I'm your man, Mr. Marsharp, and these are the Everyday Man's Film Reviews. Y'all take care. Y'all have a good one, and I will see y'all on the next one.